Hi, I'm Gregg Sauter. I'm Director of Third-Party Publishing for Nokia.
Hi, I'm Jaakko Kaidesoja. I'm Director of Games in Nokia.
Hi, Mark Ollila, Director of Nokia Games Publishing.
Okay, so let's get started with the questions. There's a lot of questions from the N-Gage community, and some of the first questions are to do with the First Access service, which you recently launched for N81 users. And I was wondering if you had any kind of numbers that you could announce on how the uptake has been so far.
Yeah, I can start. I mean, it's been really good. We've seen something like tens of thousands of downloads, kind of exceeding the expectations what we had. Really good feedback, also good qualitative comments. So it's really pleasing.
Great. So if you've had kind of a good kind of experience with the First Access, when do you think you'll be able to launch the full service?
In coming weeks, I think we gave out a lot of dates during the autumn timeframe, and I think now it's kind of finalizing the things what we have there, hearing out the feedback, seeing what kind of the feedback we're getting, and we're pretty comfortable of the status of the application and the overall service at the moment, but don't want to give exact dates, so not too far, but a couple of weeks to go.
Great. So when the full launch comes along, obviously First Access offers quite a lot. What kind of extra features and so on are we going to be able to see in the full launch?
I think what you're going to see is a wide variety of games, and even if you look at what we have in our First Access program, we have everything from really casual games to quite intense 3D experiences. You're going to see an expanded line of community-driven games, driven by some of Mark's team, and then I think really literally on a weekly basis you'll see more games added and more features added and an expanded feature set as we move out through the next 6-9 months.
Yeah, I think it's more really enhancing the device portfolio and adding games rather than adding features of the application itself. The features will follow during the second half or mid-year.
And the features are very, each game has a particular use of a feature or approach. So, for instance, I know that when 1 comes out, the award-winning 1 from the IMGA Awards, it'll have a connectivity, multiplayer connectivity to play against each other using Bluetooth as a feature. Whereas on the First Access games, System Rush Evolution, it had multiplayer using OTA.
I think the neat thing that we're already finding though in First Access is players are really enjoying the community aspect and being able to accumulate points and talk about games and review games, and it all of a sudden takes a game like Tetris, which everybody knows, to kind of a whole new level and a whole new way of playing and experiencing the game. So just the application and community feature set alone adds a lot to it.
An interesting question we had was, since you've launched the First Access, what kind of interest have you seen from the operators and carriers?
We've been discussing with the operators for a long time. It's not only the First Access. Obviously, we started back in 2006 already to detailed discussions, and now we've continued with our overall OB strategy. And yeah, it's getting traction. If you look at the business models going forward and how the industry is proceeding, we can create a win-win-win kind of an equation with the operators. And the fact that we are now have announced cooperation with Vodafone and Team Telefonica and even Orange last week, I mean, it's showing that we are progressing with the guys.
Well, I mean, obviously the mobile games industry isn't just about the carriers and operators, there's also the developers. I was wondering if you could talk about the development potential that you see for developers with the N-Gage.
I think
well, there's I see 2 key opportunities. There's obviously what Nokia Games Publishing is doing, working with independent developers or developers that have not published in their own right, and actually being able to take the innovative ideas that they have and actually take it onto our platform, which allows you to drive that innovation. So that's a very clear opportunity there. And for them, the ability to actually write one SKU, not needing to worry about all the porting issues and so forth, that must be a very much welcome relief to developers that, yeah, I can really push the limits and actually get that out. The other opportunity is the developers working with the third-party publishers that Gregg's team is working with to actually get their content out and work with EAs.
And I think this is really a great thing for us in that the publisher or the developers that have been working with our first-party team, which were some of the first developers to start working on N-Gage, there isn't one of them that hasn't been getting calls from third-party publishers that want to do N-Gage games. So It is nice, and being able to develop one SKU that literally, once we put it up, is available in dozens or countries around the world. I know with First Access, we've literally had dozens of countries, or I think it's been something like 60 countries that have downloaded the application, and all this happens like that. So it's a new ecosystem and a bit of a transition in the business.
So we talked about development, we're talking about community, obviously. There's the possibility of user-generated games with N-Gage, and some of the thoughts are like just how powerful the potential for them is. Like, are they going to be able to rival like Flash titles or the Java stuff that you're seeing? What are people going to be able to make?
Well, I think like what we announced recently is Jaakko. And again, this is important to us for driving innovation and seeing what's happening in the community, social networking and user-generated content. And with the Jaakko game, the ability for the users to actually create their own games and share them with friends and build up their own community is powerful. And like, okay, does it rival Flash? Does it rival browser games? Like, I'm not particularly interested in that. I'm interested in actually what my friends are giving me that is of interest to us.
Talking about more specific features, there's obviously with the phone, there's a voice usage. People are interested in voice chat in games. Is that something you can see a feature coming out with N-Gage?
I think I think we get asked a lot about what about this feature, what about that feature, and I think the thing that we would say to the community out there is if you've thought of it, we've thought of it, and for us it's about baby steps. There's what we have now far out surpasses anything that's in the marketplace, just with the community features and the able to interact and play with and against your friends. So, we've got a long line of features that will be rolling out over the coming literally years. And, what the platform is now, if you like it now and you like the feature set, just wait another year. So, I don't know if we want to get into specifically voice chat, but like I said,
why not? I mean, of course we could do voice chat later on, but it's really about when it comes the right time. What's the title in question? I mean, it's not kind of try to forcefully create something around voice interaction, but it's finding the overall game concept.
And one of the challenges that we have within first party, like Nokia Games Publishing, is to drive innovation on the platform. So we're deliberately trying to look at, okay, this is a great mobile device. It's got Wi-Fi, GPS, it's got camera. Okay, what sort of gameplay can we create with that? And how can we take those learnings and drive that into our SDK team, into building it into the platform so that it becomes available for our developers and our publishers?
Yeah, and I think with that, and what I meant